Now we can add any message our heart desires, but it's always going to be Jian saying it. And although she does talk so much, I can barely hear myself think. She doesn't say all the things. So we're not quite ready to do a full-blown user management system in here just yet. But we could sort of simulate that a little bit so we can write some of our components the way that we'll write them in the long run. So at the very least, we could like store a user object in state. Even if it's always the same user, at least it would be coming from an object. And we could write these components the way we really will. As long as they receive the user as props, it doesn't matter that right now they're hard-coded and later they'll be coming from something else. We could go ahead and start heading down that path. Yeah. Okay, I hear a couple different questions in there. What's the question? Why did we have to do state? In order to control the form with React, we have to set that value equal to something that's in state somewhere. So basically, at that point, you need state. .body, yes, but then we have to do something with it. So until we do this handle change thing, handle submit isn't the problem. We can get the value out of there at handle submit time, but the problem is as we type individual letters, like it won't type anything in there. Or it will type something in there, but the value won't be the right thing when we get here. We'd actually have to use like, yeah, it doesn't do what you're thinking. Yeah, it doesn't do that thing. The way that it does if we were just doing everything with the DOM. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, you can get it from the DOM if you want to actually get it from the DOM. But if you're going to go React, go React. And let React manage the state of your components. I'm not sure we'll run into any of the side effects on this project, but there are side effects to doing it that way. Basically, you don't ever want to mess with what's on the page directly. You want to mess with your state and let the page take care of itself. So this is the way to do that. There are unexpected consequences if you carry that down further. But yeah, you can do it. What was I talking about? Oh, users, right? So maybe we start putting that in state somewhere. Yeah, good question though. I recommend like doing some further reading just to better understand the problems. So where do we need to put user in state? Let's look at our mockup again, wherever that is. Where is it? Do I not even have it open anymore? Okay, so we have the user in the sidebar, right? So it has to be at least as high as main because it needs to be available in both chat and sidebar. So it needs to be at least as high as main. Long run, we're going to have a separate sign-in component. And app is going to have to decide whether to show sign-in or main. So I think it's going to decide that based on whether there is a user. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all the way up in app. Now that means we're going to be passing it down as a prop a lot, but oh well, we can handle it. So yeah, let's go up to the app component. Let's add a little state. It's already a class, so we're good there. I'll just say state equal instead of making a constructor for now. And let's put a user. And I will just hard code a user. User is probably going to have some sort of UID, whatever. Going to have a username. I don't know what else. Add. Let's just put Chris. Username Chris. We just need something in there. And we need this thing to be available in the sidebar, and we need it to be available in main and chat and everywhere. It's going to be available everywhere. So from here, what can we do? If it's going to need to be in chat and sidebar, it's going to first have to be in main, right? So let's pass it down there. Let's pass down user equals this dot state dot user. And if that works, put a trailing comma there, I should be able to go to my main component and see props. I have user. Very good. Oh, cuss. I hit the keyboard shortcut for minimizing. Whoop. What I was trying to do was open up main. So now I have my prop in here. Now I need it in sidebar and chat. So what do? Pass it as a prop. So sidebar user equal what? This dot props dot user, right? It was this dot state user in app. It's this dot props user here because main is already a class. So we have this dot props. It's not being passed in as an argument. It's available on this. So this dot props dot user. And we'll do the same for chat. User equals this dot props dot user. Cool. And what can we do with that? So in chat, which is also a class, when we add a message, instead of just saying username GN every time, what can I say? Chris, again? This.props.user will be the user. If I just want the username, dot username. So this dot props dot user will get us the object. Dot username gets us the username. Does that work? Yeah, now it's Chris. Update the state of that component somehow. We'll do that in class tomorrow, because we didn't do it this morning. So I don't want to get too far ahead. Or you can fix it yourself. All right, so now that takes care of chat. We want it in the sidebar too, so we have it there. Inside sidebar, we could just display the username like it does. So this is a class right now. I don't think it needs to be, so I'm going to go ahead and change it to a stateless functional component. Get used to changing between the two. Not too hard. Just stop importing component. Don't extend component. Instead, make sidebar a const. Set it to an arrow function. We already know we're going to receive some props now, so I'll go ahead and put props in there. And we don't need a render method. Our entire component is a function, so we just need the return statement. And now sidebar is a stateless functional component. It's still there, so it works. Now instead of the word sidebar, I'll just put props.user.username. And there we go. It says Chris over here. Now that sidebar is super skinny and not very pretty. So I don't know how much longer I can stand to look at this ugly rascal. But hey, we did the user thing. Now the way we actually set the username in app is going to change, but the way we do it down in the other components will stay at least similar to that. We'll see how we end up doing it. So store user in app component state. And pass it down as a prop to everything else.